As a striving IT leader coming up in any environment, wanting to be CIO, you've got projects, you got people leaving, you're hiring people, you're in this operational chaos,
Right.
and you're looking for order through this
Yep.
feedback. How do I break through?
Absolutely.
You're a manager or director, and you're trying to go, okay, how do I get feedback from my CIO? What's the best way to approach, someone in that role when you're maybe one or two levels behind?
Yeah. So most people get a performance review within their organization, and that's great, right? Because your boss is going to give you, and hopefully they've sought feedback from others that they will include in your performance review that they're going to give you. But when you start thinking about, okay, how do I get feedback from 2-3 levels above? I think you have to prove that you want feedback, right? And
okay.
I would suggest do it informally, right? So I've had people come up to me and say, "Hey, Onyeka, can you tell me how did you experience me?" And I can tell when they're serious about how did you experience me versus somebody's they're just saying it because the CIO is in the room, right? And they want to say say something.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you there, because you said I can tell, right? So when you get up to that level in your career, right, you know who wants it and kind of know who doesn't. What's something someone could, as a leader coming up in the IT space, like what could they say or do to help show, hey, I'm interested?
Yeah, so I think part of it is just being genuine with ask for specific feedback, right? Okay. Not just an open-ended, hey, what do you think, right? you actually have to get more specific, like, listen, Onyeka, you and I were in this meeting together, and I presented on this. How did you experience me as it relates to my delivery, the content,
that's fantastic.
my understanding of what the business was looking for? But get really specific, because that says, no, you really want some feedback about this, as opposed to, what did you think?
Okay.
And I go, I thought you were okay.
Yeah.
Right? So, because I don't really know if there's something specific. So that tells me, okay, this person's really serious about this.
Okay, that's fantastic. So, if that IT leader is looking for pursuing that CIO for specific feedback in a certain situation, to really pull that back and go, okay, that's one thing I could work on.
Sure.
What with all the new technologies and things coming at as CIO, and you've got a director or VP, and they're wanting to get time with you, and you got the business, and just all these things. What's a good time? I want this specific feedback, but when do I show up on the CIO doorstep, or do I go through the admin? I mean, what's my approach? So probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, so it depends, right? And it depends on that individual. I can use myself and some CIO, buddies that I know who genuinely are into people development.
Yeah.
If you ask your CIO, hey, I'm interested in, especially if you're at the, you're at the VP level, or you're at the level right below the CIO, they're going to make time for you. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
If you ask. So for me, I like first thing in the morning, right? So catch me, whether it's lunchtime or first thing in the morning or right after work.
Yeah.
One of those times, because I think when you formalize hey, I'd love some feedback. Can we go sit in the conference room and, it's all buttoned up, and you're like, yeah, why? But if you make it less formal,
okay,
right, people are more likely to give you genuine feedback if it's less formal.
That's good.
Yeah.
So really breaking down. Creating a safe place,
Sure.
which basically what I hear you saying.
Yeah, and it's not up to the CIO to create a safe place for you.
Yeah.
It's up to you, right? So from an ownership perspective, it's up to you to create an environment where the CIO feels comfortable giving you, the director feels comfortable giving you, the manager feels comfortable right? You got to create that environment yourself.
Okay.
By one, being open to seek the feedback, and then listening, right? So actively listening to the feedback as it's coming towards you.
Okay.
If you're like this, when the feedback's coming, the person's less likely to give you that feedback.
Yeah, you could actually hurt your career more than improve it during that time. So setting this meeting and getting this feedback is really, you really need to think through it essentially to understand, hey, what's my direction?
Yep.
what's some really precise feedback that I could work on?
Yeah. And why am I doing it? So why do you want the feedback? Right. So do you want the feedback because you want to be better? Do you want the feedback because someone said something that you didn't like and you're trying to figure out, you're trying to validate something?
Yeah.
Right. So what's your why behind seeking the feedback? I think if you understand that as well, then the person that you're asking for feedback from is more likely to give it. Right. So we always say use a start, stop, continue.
Okay.
Kind of, stoplight deal where I'm asking, okay, what should I start doing that I'm not doing?
Yeah.
What should I continue doing that I am doing well? And what should I stop doing? Right? So, man, I'm doing something I just need to stop.
Yeah.
And I think if you put it that way to people, they're more likely to give balanced feedback as opposed to, well, tell me what I'm not doing well.
Okay.
Well, no, maybe I don't want to tell you all that.
Yeah.
Right?
Because balance does matter.
It
right?
matters.